Hello, this is just another another update to how we're getting on with our blog, or our media production, should I say, which I'm putting on my blog now. Today we went out and took 14 photos in total. Well, we took more than 14 photos. We just chose 14 of the best ones to put on. And basically these photos will be used in our character profiling of the man that's being stalked. So the guy in the garage, the murderer in the garage, or the stalker will have these photos up of this man on the wall. So I just wanted to talk through some of my favourite ones. Basically I printed the photos out in a grayscale effect because it just adds a bit more sort of spookiness about it, a bit more weirdness. Since you can't see the colours, it sort of connotes the darkness of the characters and darkness of the plot, for example. Now, probably one of my favourites is this one here. I went to the local church with Dave, and I thought having this photo of me perched outside a gravestone would be a great idea. Now, not only does it look quite good, but I thought this could also connote and predict the future as to what's going happening in our movie. So it's almost foreshadowing in a way what's going to happen to this character. He stood outside a gravestone, outside a church. The audience might sort of think, hang on, this could mean something later on, and it's foreshadowing. In the same way, we have the same sort of reasonings behind this picture. It's again me there, sat in the church. Again, this just me being sat in the church on my own, just with my head down, just looks quite creepy, and there's just like an eeriness about it. Like it's definitely something not normal about this. We're a bit scared going to the church, to be honest, but never mind. Now, obviously, some of the shots were in the dark and some of them were in the light. Now, we didn't want all of them to be in the dark, however, some of them needed to be light to make it look more realistic. Obviously, it's going to be shown that these photos were taken throughout several days instead of just on one day. So it made it more realistic, as if he'd been stalking him for a long time. So we also have this photo, which is basically me in the window closing the curtains. Quite simply, this was just, I thought it looked quite good. I almost look at the camera, but not quite. So it's not obvious that I've seen this man that's taking the photos, but it sort of hints that I'm starting to get like a hint of what is actually happening. Now, obviously, the light in the background with me in the front creates sort of a shadowy silhouette effect, which I think looks really good. In this next photo, it's basically, again, just a silhouette. I was stood under a street lamp, giving a silhouette effect, basically just black. You can't really see my face, but I thought the portrait, instead of a landscape like most of them that we did, just sort of added a bit more variety to it. So this one is portrait. We tried not to make these comical, but me and Dave are quite, we're quite humorous guys. We like a little bit of humour. So I thought, we don't want it to be too funny, but we want it to have a reference and a relevance to what is actually going to be in the film. So in our titles, we have the titles built in to the sequence. So the titles are in the actual production instead of added over the top. I wanted to add a tiny bit of comedy just to make it a bit less serious, even though it is serious. So one of our stalking photos, on the music sequence where it says music by, which will put obviously who the music is by, it can't be copyrighted, but it will still have it. We have this photo, which was basically taken of outside my window, hence why we have all this black here and the windowsill. And this is me looking into a mirror, singing Into a Banana with my earphones on. I know that sounds quite silly, but I thought it would work well with the music, because obviously I'm singing, I have headphones on, it relates well, and I just thought it'd be quite a good idea. Now, obviously we didn't want it to be just most of those photos there are in desolate areas where no one else would be. So for example, there'd be no one around me in my own house or in the graveyard. So we wanted just to make it a bit more sort of realistic and add where other public might be, for example. So this one was outside a pub. It's just me stood at the door, opening the handle. And again, this just enforces the realism of the situation, that this person is real, he's going into real places, and it connotes it's actually quite serious, because obviously if you were being followed into public areas, I'm sure you'd be a bit worried. So those were just a few photos that we took today. I'll be adding those to the board that we created, and some of them will have titles written over them. Now I'm going to have to try and do my best neatest writing and use quite a bright highlighter or a bright pen, just to ensure that the titles actually stand out onto these photos. If not, we'll have to find some other way of doing it. But yeah, that's it for now.